Hello, my name is Jim Mullany from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. Hope everyone is being safe because of COVID-19. At SciTech, we also are being safe. Normally, I would have a mask on and gloves, but because I'm in final test, I took my mask off so you could hear my video presentation. But all of our manufacturing people are wearing masks. A lot of our administration people are working out of their houses, and our sales teams and so forth. So we're being as safe as we can. Trying to also be an essential business to keep a lot of biotechnology and medical companies up and running with spare parts and service as they need on a daily basis. So today I'm doing a video source inspection on two fully remanufactured 880S spin dryers upgraded to the state-of-the-art SciTech S1 controllers. These systems basically are built like brand new. It turns out at SciTech we have our own poly shop, so we do our own poly. I'll go ahead and talk about the quality and how we do our rebuilds and on specifically these tools once I start them. The reason is it's very boring for the 90 seconds and 300 seconds to just sit and watch the machine spin. Nothing happens. So I'll review at least the configuration of the tool before we start. So these systems are set up for the Integris A192-80-1M low profile rotor. I have one of those rotors down here. That rotor has been tested in all four heads. Actually, we had four rotors. We have the other three rotors we sent out for new electropolishing. They'll be back later tonight, but they've already been ran in the tool, and they will be shipped with those 8-inch rotors. It also has a side panel easy access. This is one of the customer's designs. This customer has purchased multiple tools from us, and they like this design. As you can see, the side panel. It also has the three typical options people can choose from. It has the anti-static module for particle control. It has the water recirculation to help control any bacteria growth, and it has the DI resistivity monitor to make sure your water leaving the system meets a certain specification for cleanliness. If any of those go bad, then you could get particles on your substrates, and so the customer opted for any of those all those options to be upgraded. What I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and start the tools, and I'll talk about our controller, our light indicators, and our rebuild process. So on a typical spin rinse dryer, all you do is you load your cassette and hit start. There we go, cassette's already in there, hit start. Cassette's already in there, hit start. And here we go, hit start. Okay, they're all running, perfect. Alrighty, so let me talk about our configuration in a little bit more detail, then I'll talk about our rebuild spec and our capabilities. I will not go into training on these controllers, but again, this customer has a variety of these controllers already. They're very in tune of how to run them. They know all the options. Some of the biggest values of the controller is the anti-static module. We monitor the anti-static module, and we have a special algorithm that's written that if the anti-static module is not working correctly, we have an alarm and it comes up. That's a very key thing, because when what happens if your anti-static module goes bad, you can have more particles. The problem is you don't realize that till you're further down the line with your wafer after multiple process steps, and then the customer has to work their way back to find out where the particles come from. That's thousands of dollars of work. We notify you right out in the run at the end of the process if that failed. We also have our state-of-the-art N2 purge saver. We're the first one to come out with that in any controller. What it does is that at the end of the process, there's a variable information time the customer can program in that we turn off the N2 and save it until the next process begins. So that's a huge cost-saving option that saves thousands of dollars per head assembly annually. It's a fantastic deal for customers, and it's got a fantastic payback. 90% of the rinser dryers that are the semi-tool version that we remanufacture, customers upgrade to those controllers because the value is just, it's basically crazy not to. So I'll talk about as you can see, we're running nice and smooth here. We're in the high RPM. The typical process is a rinse, low RPM, a purge that blows the air out of the nitrogen out of the water nozzles so they don't drip back. You have a high RPM, shorter duration, fast spin to sling the water off of everything, the DI water. Then you move into a dry 2, which is a slower duration RPM, or longer duration, slower RPM, and it uses centrifugal force, hot N2, and heater blankets to dry. So let me talk about our remanufacturing process. So at SciTech Process Solutions, we rebuild any and all type rinser dryers, any versions, any size, 300 plus millimeters, all the way down to small pieces. So when an order comes in, which we have about, usually in any given week, 3 to 4 orders that are coming in for rinser dryers that we're building, and it's assigned to one of our technicians in our dry test. They assemble the parts, build the tool up, rebuild as our remanufacturing spec identifies the valves. We check the heater blankets. Most times we upgrade to new SMC valves. We have our own rotostop positioner. We check the brushless motors. We have our own amps we offer. We also use the traditional amps. The head assembly is built up in dry test, completely all the way done, but only run with air. Once we feel it's deemed to be ready, we have a second technician review it, test it, and make sure they're happy with it. It meets all the QC checks. After that, it's brought into final test. And when they come into final test, they're brought in like this. This is a customer rinser dryer they sent to us for refurbishment that's ready to go. But this is how the head comes in. It's hooked up with DI. It's all the little fittings are tightened up to make sure there's no leaks in DI. We have a QC qualification that has to pass here. Once it passes here and has multiple process runs, it's then put into its configuration like this. This would be a double stack without poly. And then we do it. We put all the cabling in, all the controllers in. We debug everything. After 50 process runs of no errors, excuse me, we then put the poly on. We then do more process runs because we found, well, we know over the years, when you put a poly on, you might get a little piece, a weird piece here or there that vibrates, that makes a little vibration. So we debug all of our poly to make sure it's perfect. And then after another set of process runs, the system is given to the sales department to do this video. At SciTech, we video source inspect every single tool we do. We only fully remanufacture tools with full warranties. We don't sell anything as is, operational. It's not how we do it. We are a high-quality manufacturing organization, and we'll only ship high-quality products. So that's a standard we have internally here that is just not, anything less is unacceptable. So that's our remanufacturing process. We have about 180 seconds. That's about, what, 3 minutes? I'll talk about some of the support we have. So this is the S model spin rinse dryer. If you go to our website at scitechprocess.com, on the left-hand side we have a variety of buttons. The first 6 are all semi-tool related. Well, the first 7 are all semi-tool related. The first 3 are the tools. The S model, which uses a labyrinth seal brushless motor. The F model, which uses a brush motor and a ferrofluidic seal. And the traditional ST, which you see all around the world. And there's thousands upon thousands installed. So we offer any size, any version of the spin rinse dryer. Then the next 3 buttons are the spare parts. For all 3 systems, we offer 100% spare parts. We can build this system new. And we have new bowls, new frames, new poly, new motors, new amps. SciTech state-of-the-art controller. That's the key one right there, having our own state-of-the-art controller that's far and away better than anything you can buy anywhere in the world. And then we have the same thing for the F model. That looks like this, but again, it has a different motor. We also have the F1, which is the same looking controller, but it's for the F model, which we also manufacture and sell. The 7th button down is for any spare parts on the acid and solvent systems known as the SSTs, WSTs, and SATs. So that gives you an overview of our semi-tool products. We feel we are the #1 seller of non-OEM parts in the United States and becoming the #1 seller worldwide. We believe we're the #1 remanufacturer of rinser dryers worldwide. Part of what we did a year and a half ago, SciTech purchased, this is a Vertec rinser dryer. We bought the product line from Martech/Vertec. We now are the OEMs for this product, this rinser dryer line. We offer all the IP rights, all the software rights, all the drawings, all the spares. We have everything. We just started doing our remanufacturing of these tools, and we have 3 of them going through final tests in the next few days. 1 here and 1 that was on the other side. Besides spin rinse dryers, which is our core business, we have 2 other wet processing lines that kind of fit right in. We do the Floorware Integris HTC box washers. That's the 8000, 8010, 8020, and 8030. We have full spare parts from those. If you go to our website, you'll see lots of spare parts. We have racks, we have hubs, we have spray nozzles, and so forth. We actually have 2 on the floor right now. 1 that we sold to a customer that will be shipping hopefully in the next couple of days, and 1 the customer sent us for a complete remanufacturing. We stripped it all the way down to the metal frame, gone through the process, and now we're going to start the buildup of it. And we're putting in new doors, all new parts. Besides that, we do a lot of the the Ultra T, Ultra Tech, and K&S high pressure mask and wafer scrubbers. Those are the single wafer high pressure cleaners. We have always a few in stock, and we're always manufacturing those. We do metrology tools. We do KLA 10-core particle counters. We do step height deck tacks. We do alpha steps. We do Prometrics tools. nanometrics tools, that's all film measurement or some type, either thickness or step heights or particles. We do etch and ash equipment. We have Branson etchers, we have Techniques etchers, so we have quite a lot of different etchers we do. And we also do high and low power microscopes. Right here in Final Test I see 3 Nikons right there, with a couple of our new state-of-the-art controllers too. So we have a wide range. Okay, we're finishing the process. Alrighty. So at the end of the process, we have a rotor stop positioner known as an RSP. It has a piston that shoots out and it rolls against a flat and uprights. We call it 12 o'clock. Once it does that and we hit 0 RPM, I can open the door. I heard it release. So first I like to check for heat. Nice and warm, yes. Look at the wafers, make sure they're nice and dry. Yep. To acknowledge that, you have 3 different ways. You can open the door like I did, you can hit acknowledge or hit stop. I'll acknowledge this way on this one. There we go. Acknowledge doesn't release the door. It's already been released. You just have to acknowledge to set back to the idle screen for your next system. And again, just by opening the door, it acknowledges, so you don't have to actually acknowledge. Okay, this one we did at 0 to 25, so there's no wafers, but to show you how smooth it ran, these rotors the rotors we're supplying are 0 to 25, which means the customer can run 1 wafer or 25 or anything in between. Feel the hot end through there? Yep. These are some 5-inch wafers. We'll just check those. They look good. We have a lot of different test rotors here at SciTech for different wafer sizes for different size machines. Okay, let's take out the 8-inch. Nice and warm. Cassette looks good. Feels warm. Nice and hot. Wafers are dry. Okay. Alrighty. So, in our opinion, these systems are 100% ready to go. They met all of our quality standards. Excuse me. This is my second straight video presentation in a row, and they're kind of long and I have to talk a lot. So we're going to go ahead and upload this video hopefully tonight to our customer. Once we get their okay, we're going to go and get these things created and get them shipped the next couple days. If you have any questions, again, my name is Jim Mullany from SciTech Process Solutions. Today, again, was Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. And our phone number is 916-797-9000. That's the direct line to our office. And then also, if it's easier, you can just send us an email to sales@scitechprocess.com, and that will be answered by our sales organization to quote you any of your needs. Thank you. Have a great day.